Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my show, Convict to Citizen. Today we're going to be talking about how it feels to be sentenced to 7 years of prison. That's right, 7 fucking years, baby. Straight down to the nitty gritty, no bullshit, just like I said. Alright, I was going to do a video on how I ended up getting to the point of getting a 7 year sentence, but that one is so juicy that it's going to take a few episodes just to tell the story. So, I'm going to split things up a little bit here. So, grab some popcorn, maybe a cigarette, and get comfortable because this one's going to be a doozy, baby. Where should I get started here? Um, it was the date of my sentencing, which I remember was October 31st. This was Halloween of 2013. I remember that day vividly, actually. I had been waiting in county jail in the city I grew up in, Waukesha County, for about 4 months. I had been sitting there sobering up, basically. It was only my fault that I was in county jail at this point. Um, you see, when I was initially charged with manufacturing and delivery of heroin, I was actually released on bail that very same day. When I went into my initial hearing, I went in not knowing if I was going to get out. I had received a letter in the mail and notifying me of my court date and that it was mandatory that I appear, of course. Now, being the addict that I am, I didn't want to go in there and have my life taken away from me because, of course, I wanted to continue to use, but I also didn't want to continue my life not knowing if I was going to get arrested at any moment in time, being super paranoid. So I manned up and I went in. And to my surprise, I was actually released on a $2,000 signature bond. Conditions of my bond were that I go to WCS. WCS stands for Wisconsin Correctional Services, I believe. Basically, it's like day reporting. It is kind of like being on probation while you're on bail. You have to go in there 2 or 3 times a week, tell your and you gotta comply with terms of bail, basically take random drug tests, maintain a job, your sobriety, probably go to some meetings. It can be any number of things, and these are stipulated by your judge, of course. So everybody is different. Nobody has the exact same stipulations. They're like basically guidelines, and then there can be little extra ones added on top of that. So there can be all sorts of different kinds of stipulations. But I digress. Long story short, I couldn't keep my ass out of trouble, and I ended up having to sit my remaining time until I was sentenced at the county jail. Now, while awaiting my sentencing, I had run into multiple people who were also incarcerated, of course, who had 2 or 3 controlled buys, and they were just getting condition time. Now, I only had one controlled buy, so I thought for sure I'm just going to get some condition time. There's no way I'm going to get some prison time, No, I can't do that. I just didn't want to believe that that would actually happen to me. But little did I know that was going to happen. So, now, after running into so many people where this was happening, I thought, okay, cool. I can do that. Just a little jail time. I've done that before, When I was 18, I actually did 180 days plus 60 days consecutive to the 180. So I did 240 days when I was only 18, So I figured if I can do that, I can do a little bit of condition time, but I'm not doing prison. There's no way. So yeah, I couldn't imagine doing 3 years or 4 or 5. To me, that was just unbearable. I couldn't imagine having to do that much time. I didn't want to miss out on my life for that much time. And, I still had my life to fuck up. I still had a lot of partying to do. I just couldn't not have that. At the point of my sentencing, even after being clean for over 4 months in point in time, even then, I still wasn't ready to give it up. The devil still had his hold on me, you know. He still had his roots like deep inside of me and was telling me that if I got out, I had it this time. That, you know, if I got out, I'd be smarter this time around. That if I had it all figured out, that I could use and leave all my problems behind me. And it was simple, you know, I knew it. I'm smarter this time. But who am I kidding? That was just the addict brain telling me, you're stupid. This is insane. Let's do it again. Now, finally, after all these years behind bars, I truly know how wrong I was all those other times. So the day was October 31st, just like any other day when you're in jail or prison. You see, every day in jail or prison is the same. You know, when it comes down to it, there's nothing differentiating the different days. It really becomes hard to tell one day from the other or one day from the whole month because they're all the same. But this day was actually different for me. This was the day that I would find out the fate of my sentencing and what I would be doing for the next 4 years of my life. See, when you go to jail when you go to court in my county jail, um, you go from your housing unit to the courtroom, and in between the housing and the courtroom is the old jail. So you have to go through the old jail to get to your court date, and it's like this maze of creepy corridors where people used to be housed. It's almost like a scary movie, honestly. And, you know, I mean, when you're housed in your housing unit, after a while, you kind of almost forget that you're in jail. It's almost like a defense mechanism. But in these moments when you're in the old jail, it kind of just hits you in the face like, holy shit, this is actually happening right now, you know? And I always hated those moments, you know, when I had to go to court because there was no like telling myself, no, this isn't real. Like, fuck yeah, this was real. This shit is happening for real, man. And, you know, it's not bad enough that you're moved from one area where you know you can't leave and you can't escape for sure. But no, it's made worse by making you sit in a cell for God knows how long. It can be a half hour, it can be an hour, it can be more than an hour awaiting your court date. So you're sitting there just shitting yourself, wondering what is actually going to happen when I walk into this court date. Before you go into your court date, you're going to be stuck in another cell. And it's in this cell where you realize the seriousness of the situation. Like, holy shit, I'm actually might go to prison soon. Or, holy shit, I can't believe I actually did this shit. You know, it's those moments where you're actually hit in the face with what you are awaiting your trial and sentencing for. Now, if that's not bad enough, for some god-forsaken reason, you are taken to your court date like 2 hours ahead of time. Yeah, like who? It only takes you 10 minutes to walk there. Why do you need to leave 2 hours? Is somebody gonna break you out? Or like, what's going on for 2 hours that you need? Like, is there gonna be a traffic jam in the middle of the jail that nobody uses? I never understood this. Why do I need to leave and then sit in this cell for over an hour? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but it's in these moments where the realness actually sits in. So now, when you are sitting in this cell, this is one of those moments where you're all by yourself, and it's probably a moment that most convicts can relate to. This will be the moment when you have the prayer. Now, this isn't a regular type of prayer that you would have at Thanksgiving or, you know, at home where, you know, you're thanking God for good things in your life. This is the prayer for a criminal saying, like, yeah, please God, I will never do this again, I swear. And, you know, the criminal actually admits defeat, where we tell God that if you let me go just this one more time, I swear to God, I won't do it again. I promise you I won't do it again. And to tell you the truth, we usually actually mean it at that time. When we get out, that's when things actually change. But, you know, practicing what we preach is sometimes becomes very difficult. I'm going to tell you. So, so after you've sat there for God knows how long, you're finally taken out of the cell, and it's at this point in time you are shackled up. See, you are shackled. You're not just handcuffed. Your ankles are shackled to each other. Your hands are shackled to each other. Then your hands are actually shackled around your waist. There's a chain going around your waist and into your handcuffs, which is also going down to your ankles and wrapped around your ankle shackles. So you're just shuffling along here. You can't go anywhere for sure. And if you want to try to go anywhere, you're falling on your ass. That's for sure. Flat on your fucking face, because you ain't going nowhere. So now that I'm all shackled up, I'm following this correctional officer into the courtroom, which will tell me what will happen with the next few years of my life. And, it's in this moment where you realize how much they have you by your nut hair, because you are not going anywhere. You're not leaving, you are not getting out, you are sitting here and you are getting sentenced, and that is what is. All shackled up, I'm now following this correctional officer to the room that will deliver my fate to me. Okay, he opens up the door in front of me and I step into it. All right, and I look out and it is the courtroom. There is some people to the left, usually family members, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. And then I see my attorney in front of me, and then the DA, and then to the right is the judge. She's more than likely not there yet. So I am told to shuffle over towards my attorney and sit down in the chair. Well, thank God I get to sit down, because standing up is not very comfortable. I mean, sitting down is comfortable, easy, isn't any easier, but it's better than standing up, let me tell you. When you're shackled to death, you don't want to move. Alright, so I'm sitting next to my attorney, and I'm waiting for the judge to come out. And when she comes out, the bailiff says, "All rise." So I get up, kind of barely get up, but I'm up, I'm standing, and then they tell you can sit back down. Okay. Hey guys, sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off on this one. Go ahead, check out part 2, and I hope you like it. All right, later.